What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Hey, guys. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? I'm Anthony. I'm Anthony. I'm Anthony.
I'm Manny. I'm Manny. I am Sir Man of Arena.
And welcome back to a DCTV weekly recap. What's up, guys? I'm Anthony.
I'm Manny.
And we're back with Season 2 of DCTV Weekly Recap.
And we back. Oh, and to start off Season 3, we have a special guest.
A very special guest.
This is the homie Ward. He's in the building, guys. Yes, that is Ward. Ward is a DCTV enthusiast as well.
Yep.
He's asked multiple times to be on the show.
Yep.
Finally glad we got to have him on. Welcome aboard.
Got my chance to be on the show. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, see, we have special moments for season premieres too.
Exactly.
There you go.
Boom.
But we're not going to waste any more time because we have a lot to talk about for our 4 premieres this week. So let's start off with Supergirl.
Woo! Okay, so, as you know, the aftermath of Season 2, Kara lost what, in her definition, was pretty much everything in Mon-El. Now, how is this going to play out in Season 3? Well, I'm glad you asked. She's on a bit of a tirade in terms of her not being a person anymore. She is neglecting responsibility in the life of Kara Danvers. She doesn't really go out to hang out with friends and family. She's pretty much just secluded, reclusive, whatever you want to call it. But Supergirl is on a tear. She's kicking ass, taking names, and she's just like, yes, bitch, yes. She's destroying it. Crime is at an all-time low because she's more focused on the Supergirl aspect of her life. Kara Danvers is taking an extreme backseat because guess what? It's so far back, she's in a fucking limo. Alright? That far back. Not regular backseat. All the way back with the crystal. So, what is this? What is it really that has sparked this? It's obviously losing Mon-El. Now, while this is going on, we're introduced to Morgan Edge, who's part of basically like a plethora of never-ending real estate people that are just like, I'm gonna take over the fucking city.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden, like every year, it's like Maxwell Lord, I'm rich, I have money, I'm gonna fucking take over the city. Now it's Morgan Edge, I have plans, I've been buying shares of Catco, I plan on buying it, so guess what? Fuck you guys, you wanna give me bad press? Suck it.
There's like no natural story progression when it comes to any kind of antagonist in this show.
I mean, it's just like they got money, and they've been low-key for the whole time, and now all of a sudden it's like one guy... You know what it is? It's kind of like how the Patriots play football. It's like, next man up. This guy's fucking down. All right. Maxwell Lord's done.
Right, that's the thing. Like, it's so obvious how they're like just... like cutting people into place. Like Lord was there for season 1.
He was great,
but you never saw him ever again.
No, because he got a job on another show.
I'm talking about in Supergirl's reality.
I know, but
that's the thing. Like they just cut him out. You never heard or saw him again after season 1. Now with this guy, it's going to probably be the same thing. You know?
We don't know. I mean,
he's the season 3 human antagonist for the show.
We're not going to judge, but he was basically trying to blow up a certain part of real estate in order to make room for him to build whatever the hell.
Which is it just me, or was the waterfront the Glades?
Yeah.
From Arrow.
A little bit, yeah.
I saw that total comparison there.
Definitely reminiscent of that, yes.
100%.
Definitely reminiscent of that. And so this basically, it balanced out where they had Jimmy was not Guardian in this episode, which Anthony, I'm sure, is going to... take your victory lap. Fantastic. All right, yes.
I loved it. I love when Jimmy is just Jimmy.
He was more Jimmy, taking over for Cat Grant, and... honestly, it worked. Like what he was doing in that episode felt nice. Like it was good seeing him boss people around and be like, "What do you got for me? Yes, we have this shit, that shit, this shit, that shit." And it was like, "Yes, be a boss, James. Be a boss."
He was the savior of that episode. I feel like.
Really?
The episode was very slow, and Supergirl was just on her bitch fit all.
Damn.
All show.
I agree.
Let's not get misogynistic here.
She was just on a bitch.
I didn't think.
I agree with Ward. I did not enjoy her attitude at all.
Sometimes Arrow be on a bitch fit. I found it. Sometimes it's her turn to be on a bitch fit.
I found it, but I didn't find it.
Flash spent most of the last season on a bitch fit.
Yeah, but I mean, like I found that she wasn't even. I didn't think that it wasn't believable though. You know what I mean? Like I think that anyone in that predicament, honestly, as hard as it is to place yourself in that position, like you're not gonna be fucking happy.
I'm not asking you to be happy,
but like her sister said, she gave you time to grieve.
Yeah.
Now what's up?
Yeah, but it was easy. But to her, it's easier to be Supergirl because Supergirl
is who she is naturally.
Exactly, and Kara.
But if you really think about it, she was Kara for most of her life until she wanted to be Supergirl. She wanted to be a hero like her cousin so badly. Then she fell into Supergirl.
But she was always hiding who she was.
Right, but I don't know. You know what it is for me too? It's like all these shows take place in real time. So every show has, their lives have gone on for 6 months now since the show's been off. Yeah. Right. So I feel like for her to be acting like this half a year later is unbelievable. It's because like you haven't talked to Clark. Your sister hasn't gotten through to you at all. Like no one has been able to penetrate this wall for 6 months.
Right. 6
whole months. It's not like they took it. It's only been a month. They went half a year.
Hey man, you can throw a building on her, she'll survive. But you break her heart, it's a different type of pain.
So let's talk about Edge's plan. This plan he had with the cloaking device and the random submarine.
Yeah. So he hired Bloodsport, I believe the name was, basically to do the dirty work. He had a bunch of different cloaking mechanisms and all this other shit that's going to help him basically cause mass hysteria and kill a bunch of people just so that he can, hey, I want to build some buildings.
Because he's the real estate antagonist.
Yes, exactly. Now, while they were trying to find their location, the DA and everything, they are also dealing with the fact that everyone's just like, you know what, Kara needs to snap out of this funk and finally just be who she really is again. And don't get me wrong, I thought that, I know you guys thought that this episode was weak. I thought it was pretty solid, honestly. I found like there to be some really great moments where, when Alex asked Jean to be the guy that'll walk her down the aisle, I thought that was fucking awesome. I thought that it was so...
Yeah, that was a feel-good moment.
Yeah, it was a feel-good moment, but it was well-deserved and it was well-earned. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like, oh, why is she asking him? Like, they've had that bond for the better part of these years, and it's like nice to finally see that come to a culmination and be like, yeah, you should be the one walking her down. Her father's not going to be there. You need to be there. It's great. I thought that was an awesome part. And there was some lightheartedness still, despite the funk that she was in and the action that was going on. Like when they were going to go out for drinks and then they were like, you buying the first round? She was like, well, we all know Wynn's not buying. Like little things like that. Like I will say, I like that.
I will say, as much as I dislike this episode, I am happy that they handled the Alex Carr conversation well. A lot of times, especially I feel like in Supergirl, they have a lot of these moments where their conversations, no matter how important the situation is or what they're feeling, gets resolved very quickly. Almost like a cliche sitcom where they're just like, okay. But their conversation, like, Kara raised her voice, they were yelling at each other. Like, I was like, all right, good. They handled this.
Real tension.
Yeah, they handled this well. That I enjoyed in this episode, and I was happy they did it.
It was well acted out. And we also got our first glimpse at the villain that is going to be Rain for the season. That woman who
so she's going to be the villain?
She's going to be the villain.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what I was wondering, because, what I was curious about that is, when she had the super strength to lift the thing, I was like, okay, fine.
She didn't realize that she had that.
Right.
You saw her face.
Yeah, but I was okay with that.
She's a mother, she has a daughter, and her daughter was actually in trouble as Morgan Edge was trying to kill everybody, basically, from the...
and a big piece of,
It's like a
metal beam kind of thing.
A metal beam landed on her daughter, and then she's trying to lift it, and all of a sudden, she actually crunches the metal that's holding it and lifts it up, and she's kind of looking at her hands like, what am I? And now she's starting to have dreams.
What I was curious about the dream was that she had the same dream as Kara, but when Kara's mother turned around, it was like this demon kind of... Which is weird, because it's like, a nightmare is a nightmare, but to have the same connected dream as Kara means what exactly? She's Kryptonian, she's a sister,
or was she the one? Was she the one that in the finale was sent in that ship that we saw? Remember when they went back?
Right, but at the very last scene of this episode, under the waterfront, you see the ship.
I know.
In the Earth. So is that person still in there, or is it's just
everything's
weird?
Up in the air?
But I feel like this whole episode was literally just an excuse to, one, show her, and two, show the ship.
Yeah.
Like the entire episode, I feel was, all right, we have to show that this thing's underground, and we have to give her an excuse to use her powers. What are we doing? Well, and they built it around there.
Well, just to clarify, Kara finally did come around. They were hosting a Supergirl Day, where they were basically unveiling a statue for the Girl of Steel, a steel statue. And before she was called down by Lena, she was on a rooftop monitoring the area, and Jean talked with her, and you could tell he was finally getting through that hard exterior that she was putting up, and he was finally getting some cracks in. And she came around full circle when everyone was in danger, she discovered the submarine that was underwater, and it took a lot for her to honestly, I don't know how the fuck she held her breath on that long. I mean, that was crazy. But like, it was. I love that she had that she was like in her own head, and then Monel was just like, "Wake up!" And then like she snapped out of it, and she was just like, "Shit."
I love him. He needs to come back like ASAP.
I mean,
man.
he's going to. He's going to.
Oh, like soon.
Yeah. I mean, he's.
I will say.
And then she goes to the submarine up. Everything was good. And I mean, she's now back to her normal state.
I will say, for those who remember, at the end of last season, I was finally jumping on board with the Alex Maggie train.
Right.
You know, it took a while,
yeah,
but I was there. And this episode kind of like, it was as if I got on the train and then they pushed me off. Because, I'm going to tell you. So, I feel like they have this habit with them of having these very short, weak problems for them to deal with, you know? Where Maggie's like, yeah, we're going to have, Alex was saying we're going to go taste testing and all this. And then the night of, she's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to go. And then Maggie's like, what's wrong? She hides it from her. Then finally she tells her, and she's like, I don't want a big wedding because my dad's not going to be there. And it was in the same moment of them just like patrolling the waterfront during the thing. And Maggie's just like, you know, we're all going to be there to support you and it's going to be fine. And then the next thing you know, she's going to Jean and she's like, so we're going to have a really big wedding. And I was like, then what the fuck was the point of the issue, man? Like, why? What was the point? It was pointless tension for their relationship. And I was like, I'm out again.
I mean, you're out from one thing though?
Because it was I feel like it's the same pattern. Right, it was the same pattern that they followed last year. It was the same pattern. And I'm just like, they're starting it up again. Like, that was pointless tension.
He just really got on the train. He's not sold now. You got to resell him.
I was iffy, and then I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna board this train. And then it's like, so now I have to wait again. Now they have to earn my trust back.
There you go.
Alright. You hear that? Do ya? Stop everything.
Yeah.
You need to earn
You're damn right.
Anthony's trust back, guys. Alright? Ladies, please proceed. Overall, I enjoyed the episode very much. I thought it was really solid. I thought it was a solid season premiere. I liked that Lena actually ended up being the one who undercut Morgan Edge.
Yeah,
and now she's the
Catco.
owner of Catco, which is going to make for some very interesting conflict when you have two best friends who are essentially going to be working together. And on top of that, you can tell there's a little bit of tension between her and Kara, probably because Kara feels like, you're the reason why Monel's gone. So I kind of have resentment and it's balled up, and then me seeing you more and more is just going to make me explode onto you.
It's going to come out.
That's definitely going to come out.
It's going to be like an episode 5 explosion.
Okay, you're calling it episode 5?
Yeah. Alright, let's see.
You heard it here first. Alright, well, that being said, shall we continue on?
On to
The Flash!
So, season premiere of The Flash. Personally, I really enjoyed it. So, Ninja Guy shows up. Does he have a name?
Samurai.
Well, it's Samurai, but they...
What did Cisco give him the name?
Cisco called him
like,
Samurai?
Was it like Yeah,
Samurai.
I
think that's it.
Yeah.
So this Ninja Guy shows up.
Sounds like hemorrhoid.
Samurai Guy shows up, but we don't know he's an android yet.
Yeah.
So we think it's a guy in a samurai outfit, and he demands to fight the Flash, or he's going to destroy Central City. Kid Flash and Cisco cannot take him on.
Yep.
So he demands the Flash, and right away Cisco's like, all right, then let's get the Flash back. Because unlike Supergirl that had this random, attitude for 6 months with no resolve, at least Cisco explained, since the night he left, I've been working on a device to get him back.
But he didn't explain, anything about,
He doesn't have to.
Yeah, really.
But it's just like...
Would you...
It's just like Flash logic, though.
But it's believable that someone like Cisco in 6 months can create this kind of device.
Yeah. I know, but I just would like to have some kind of levity with, some... Just a little... instead of, this is a ball, it's a cork that...
Well, no, they did explain
that identity in it,
right,
and now
was able
it's
to have his...
going to do things and
his,
work.
frequency of Speed Force essence that was able to take Flash's place in the trap. It's good enough for me. I buy it.
Just like calcified Speed Force energy.
So he gets Caitlin to help, which that threw me off.
She's supposed to be cured, and apparently she's just bartending.
Right, but it's like she's not Caitlin, she's not Killer Frost. She's in between.
No.
But then they see her and she's like, yeah, I'm Caitlin now.
So in between is bartender.
So with her help, they're able to shoot the Speed Force bazooka that Cisco made some modifications to, and they shoot it into the Speed Force and nothing happens. What I was curious about was Iris's attitude and defiance of this whole plan.
She was very super.
I mean, at least
very super girly.
Hold on.
At least they explained it towards the end,
but she doesn't have a reason to either. Like the fucking guy she was supposed to marry just gone.
Yes, and
so
then when someone's
him back,
if someone's telling you I can get him back,
he's telling you.
She's like, nah.
No, I don't think that it was. I don't think that it was that she didn't want him back. I think that it was that she didn't want to allow herself to believe that there was a chance and then get fucking.
Right, she didn't want to get her hopes up.
Exactly.
Which is fine, but I would have rather they take the course of her straight out just saying, I don't want to get my hopes up. Instead of telling Cisco, like, do not do it. We'll figure out a different way.
Barry told me keep running, so that's what I'm gonna do. Like, come on.
But one thing that
He's the same guy who goes back and fucks the timeline every season, but now you're gonna say just keep running?
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, all right. So one thing, okay, that I must say that I must give credit to finally is that they gave Iris a more pivotal role. Instead of being the damn, like, I know, yes, she got kidnapped, but this
On
time,
purpose.
at least it was voluntarily this time, alright? But also, she was running the team, you know what I mean? She wasn't just, like, standing on the sidelines, just...
Which I really enjoy her in that role,
I thought she owned it, and I thought Candace Patton did a great job. What up, Candace? Yeah, I have, like, a huge crush on her.
Yeah.
The Speed Force closes again, right?
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
No.
And then he shows up completely
Miles
simple
away.
as outside, right? Naked.
And afraid.
Yes.
And without his mind.
With a beard. When they finally see him again, he has all these symbols and writings on the wall.
I think that's Kryptonian. And I think that's
Really?
setting up for the crossover.
Interesting.
I didn't even think
Very
about
interesting.
that.
So again, you heard it here first. He's writing Kryptonian.
That didn't bother me. You know what bothered me? The
Oh
awful
my
slam
God.
poetry that he was fucking doing. My way, my way. Time flay, I lay somewhere in a bedhead shed.
You know what? You're being very nitpicky this
Oh
week.
my god, nitpicky.
Yes, there was nothing wrong with what he did there.
I have something that bothered me.
What?
When they tried everything to get his brain back, right? Everything. She tried to talk to him, bring up memories. And then at the end, she just goes to the thing and says, "Come find me," and he's fine.
And then,
like,
Barry,
come on,
Iris is
she's
gonna die.
dead. She's dead.
All of a sudden,
And it,
Let me tell you something.
He breaks through the unpenetrable jail that they made so nobody could break out of.
don't care
He
to explain
breaks through
that.
it,
No,
and
why would
he
we?
saves. Come on.
Let me tell you something though. One thing I have to say is, it's been a very long time. I possibly think maybe never that I saw Flash and I was like, this kid's a fucking badass. And this episode did it for me. It really did.
Hello, bullshit? Yes, I'm calling? Great.
Yeah, okay, he'll
All right,
call you
talk
back.
later. All right,
Yeah.
fantastic.
I was like, this kid's a badass this episode. And what I will say is, yes, was it random that she's like, come find me, and then gets taken and he snaps out of it? Yes. I truly believe they'll explain it eventually. And at least they hinted at it. Because you saw earlier when she first tried to talk to him, when they did the cliche, can we get the room? You know, they always do that.
Yeah.
Either they follow someone out,
Yeah, I'll go talk
or they
to
ask
them.
someone to leave.
I'll go talk to them. Can you give us a minute? Yeah.
But what I will say, at least they hinted at it. When she was talking to him, and then she hugged him, the same thing happened. His eyes flashed, he went crazy and started running everywhere, and then Caitlin had to freeze him. So at least like they hinted at it where has something to do with Iris and his connection with her that is able to, you know, either snap him out of what he was in or affect what he was in some way. So they're going to explain it eventually. That didn't bother me so much. Overall, I really enjoyed this episode, but he continued spouting these random messages with all the symbols, and then Cisco had the idea, maybe we can create a translator. So I have more trouble believing he did that than the fucking court sphere thing, you know, but he has this decipher where he's able to actually figure out what these symbols mean. And it finally comes up with the phrase, and it says, this house is bitchin'. Yep.
I don't think that's what it said. I don't think that's not what it meant. I think his technology was off. I think,
could be.
Like I said, it's Kryptonian, and that machine didn't know what it was because it's Kryptonian. So it maybe thought it was Egyptian or Greek, as what
Right.
said it was Greek. But I don't think that's what it is.
Could be.
Pouch.
What I will say is, I don't know if you guys saw the same theory going around. And this is not us, we're not taking credit for this one. But I do want to make mention of it. All the random things he was saying aren't actually random. Do you remember? I think it was when he went to Earth 2 for the first time, and you saw those flashes of like future things happening to Barry.
Yeah. No, the things that he was saying were things that happened through his life.
Right, through his life,
or like, possibly are going to happen in the future.
Right, when he even turned around, he's like, "I didn't kill anybody."
Yeah,
it could be referencing the trial of the Flash.
Yeah, because you saw that in the when he was running in that first season, he was behind that glass. I don't know if you guys.
I don't remember.
I do. He was behind that, so that always led me to believe that they were going to eventually do the trial.
Right, and him saying like, "I didn't kill anybody."
He said, I think he said, "I'm not Oliver" one time.
He mentioned Oliver or something. Yeah, and he mentioned Oliver. Diapers and things like that. So it could just be he was able to relive his life so many times in the Speed Force that these are just fragmented memories of his future life that he has, which I thought was an incredible theory and could possibly be what they're going for. So in the end, he snaps out of it. He saves Iris because she voluntarily gives herself to the samurai. And he manages to save her. Snap out of it completely. He's back to normal. His vitals are fine. He's healthy as an ox.
He's better than ever, apparently.
He's faster than ever. And Cisco made him a new suit, which matches more of the 2024 Flash we saw last season when he went to the future. And overall, it's a good day.
It is a good day.
And then at the end, you see this very, very futuristic kind of room that woman was in after the samurai android was discovered to be an android. And she turns and she's like, "Well, what's our next step?" And the guy in the chair almost looked like the Mobius chair.
Yeah.
Turned around and he said, "I'm thinking."
So we finally get to see DeVoe, aka the Thinker.
The Thinker.
Yeah.
Finally, he looked pretty badass.
I'm hyped for him for this villain. I'm very hyped.
I think that we're well overdue for a non-speedster villain. I mean, I think 3 years in a row is pretty rough. Yeah. Honestly.
Also, little side note, I have to say, when they first got him back and he was yelling, it looked like he was yelling at Joe, but he said something like, "You lied, you told me there was no residual energy from the storm, this and that." I couldn't help but feel like that was an immediate reference to Godspeed. That there is still residual Speed Force energy from the lightning storm.
I definitely think that they're leaving the door open for there to be Godspeed. I don't know if you're familiar, but with Rebirth, there was a new speedster villain that was created over the last year. Joshua Williamson, the writer for The Flash currently, he created a new speedster villain called Godspeed. And he has the ability to actually siphon off other speedsters' speed.
And get faster
himself that way.
Okay.
The suit's pretty badass, like white and gold.
I like that.
What's it called?
That is a good bad guy.
Yeah. And I feel that they're building him up slowly, like little hints here.
Yeah.
And he'll be Season 5's villain.
I mean, honestly, if Season 5, or if they, make it Season 6, Season 6.
Season 6 would be dope.
Yeah. Just because I don't know how I feel yet about 3 years in a row. 1 year off, and then another 4 out of 5 years is. That's still a lot.
Well, personally, I think it all depends on how they handle it. Because even with the 3 speedsters, I wouldn't have minded it so much if they changed up the formula of the speedster villain. Yeah. But it always just happened. I mean, Season 1 was a little different because first you had to deal with it being Wells and that kind of dynamic. Yeah. But it literally just became the same repeated formula of, there's an evil speedster. He's faster than Barry. Yep. Barry has to find a way to get faster to beat him. Yeah, that was it. So I wouldn't mind another speedster villain if they changed up the formula of it. Right. Which could be exactly what we need in Godspeed. Right. Because he could be an ally first. Like which he was in the comic. Exactly. So if they change up the formula a little bit, I wouldn't mind having another speedster villain.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see. We have to let this season unfold before.
Yeah, absolutely. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We have the Thinker right now.
Exactly. But other things to note. Caitlin is not healed. We're led to believe that she is, but at the end of the episode, she's about to get jumped by this weird-looking dude that has the Pidgeotto haircut and he's missing an eye, or he has a white eye that's just blind or whatever, and he's trying to attack her, and she just freezes him on the head, and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, she's not cured. What the hell? So now it's like she's containing.
She's able to somehow
she can go
back and forth.
Somewhat. Like you could see there's a struggle though. Like she's like, oh, not yet.
Right, because she said not yet. Like she wanted to stay Killer Frost. Exactly. So it's kind of like this.
There's a fight. There's a
split personality thing where she's actually able to completely turn off her metahuman powers and turn them on. Yeah. Which is definitely going to unfold throughout the season.
I want to find out how she learned how to do that.
Yeah, that's what we should find out.
Which I also think it might have to do with that bar guy.
But it seems like it's triggered more through conflict. Like as long as everything's okay. Exactly. Like if she's being attacked, it's more likely to happen. But if everything's okay and she's in the lab or whatever, then she's chill.
So I'm sure expect her to get attacked more frequently this season to have that come out.
Yeah. But one thing that I want to really just briefly say, because I don't want to spend too much time on the Flash, but I'm not seeing the point of Wally being here. Like,
I think he's gonna be a legend.
It's killing me because
That would be cool.
Because I love
the legends are supposed to have a speedster.
I love
Really?
Wally.
Yeah.
Are they?
I was looking some stuff up. They're supposed to have a speedster.
That's interesting.
I love.
I wouldn't
Wally.
mind that at all.
Like, I love Wally, but the thing is that it's been proven time and time again. You're not the real Flash. You're not the Flash. Like, all they do is establish that he's not Barry and that he's not like up to par with Barry. So it's literally just like, are we just here to just? Is he just the toilet of the show? Are we just gonna shit on him?
I would have liked it so much better if
he's
they.
the Meg of Flash.
Yeah.
I would have liked it so much better if they really like committed to the Flashpoint storyline of having Wally trapped in the Speed Force for like a long time. I would have loved if they committed to that.
I feel like they brought Barry back too soon. I feel like
they always do that though. They did that last year too.
Flash should have been gone.
I mean, they had this huge
5 episodes. Maybe they should run it back.
They had this huge fallout in the finale, 2 seasons in a row, and then you think there's going to be some ramifications where whatever, and then no, it's resolved in like literally 1 episode and that's it. Like,
I think
I thought Barry's going to be gone for a
they
couple
should let
episodes.
Kid Flash go. Mess up, try to fix his mistakes. They should have let Joe be in his grief. Everybody should have been grieving. This episode was way too happy.
I would have liked to see the funeral, like because Joe mentioned like maybe we should bury. You know, she's like, what are we gonna bury? His suit? Like, I would have liked to see a funeral where they do bury his suit, and that's what gives him the reason to use the new suit when he comes back because his old one's under the ground.
Yeah.
But at least have a funeral and have that moment where everyone can say their piece and have that moment of themselves to say goodbye. Something like that.
But we must digress.
Yes. Overall, not too bad of an episode. I enjoyed it. People have their doubts.
It was alright.
But we'll get to that in our rankings.
It was good until that happened.
It was alright. But
So, on to Legends.
So, where we left off, there are dinosaurs. There is a Big Ben. There's Big Ben, the clock. There is everything scattered all over the place. And guess what? They took a page out of Flash's book and said, you know what? Shh, this is going to be resolved in 5 seconds.
Yep.
I literally was so excited to see what they were going to do, like dinosaurs, and like all this shit is just so out of place because they broke time. They literally fucked the timeline harder than Barry did for the first time ever, and now it's left Barry and it's with the Legends because it fucks it better. They fuck it better. That's what happened. But guess what? Everything was remedied in literally less than 5 minutes because in the time that Rip was gone, from when he said, "You're the captain now, Sarah." Great. Pass the torch. Awesome. I agree. She's a great captain. But literally within those 5 minutes, it's been
15 minutes. He said
it's been quite a few bit of years now. And guess what? We think that you're all sacks of shit.
My thing about time travel is there's like no rules.
There are
no
rules,
one rule of time travel: don't alter the timeline.
Yeah.
That's the one rule.
And
So
don't interact with yourself.
I don't like the fact that he just left and then 5 years passed. Like,
Well, because the thing is, it feels like it's the same thing they did in season 1 with Mick when he was when he was Kronos, the bounty hunter, because he was there.
But that was
Kronos was at the same time. But I'm saying the same the same idea behind it.
Oh yeah,
where
he was gone for so long.
He was gone for so long, but he was still there at the same time.
Yeah.
But time doesn't pass over there, and
Yeah.
things like that. So for Rip, he left 15 minutes ago. And then did his thing.
And he created the time bureau.
And then he created the time bureau and came back, and it was only 15 minutes, but there you go.
It's basically like a bunch of field agents that are fixing these anomalies that are going on in time. Anachronisms now. That's the correct terminology. But dinosaurs are going into like little portals, going back to where they should be. Everything's being, brought back. And the Legends are just looking around like, what is happening? And then Rip is like, hey guys, guess what? I know that I used to really enjoy your presence, but fuck you now. Like literally, it was awful. Like I thought that he was a little too aggressive with the way that he was towards them. Like these are people that literally saved your life and almost saved the life of your wife and daughter.
Yeah.
Legends,
these people risk their lives for you, and all of a sudden it's son, and it's just like hey, good to see you guys. Not.
Legends and Flash have too much happy shit sometimes.
No,
they need a lot of.
Am I the only one? All right, so work with me here. Am I the only one who felt like they picked the wrong cliffhanger for last season's finale?
For Legends,
I didn't mind it.
Yeah,
because for me it was like where this started. Like last season's finale, the cliffhanger was awesome until you saw this, and saw 5 minutes later where. They walk onto the street, a dinosaur goes through the portal, Rip shows up. Right, here's what I'm saying. I think it would have been so
should
much
have been
better.
Rip.
When Rip said,
hello, or
you're
whatever.
fired.
Yeah.
Or he said, like, you're no longer legends.
Now
that would have been the
talking.
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been great. Because if
I
you're going to
feel
resolve this big thing of dinosaurs and everything in 3 minutes, then at least make the cliffhanger Rip saying, your services are no longer needed. Boom. End the season.
That could have been, that makes sense.
The second I heard that, I was like, well, I thought that would have been a better cliffhanger
You're right. That was, I think that would have been too, yeah. But yeah, so Rip relieves them of their duties as legends, being that he has this new time bureau. So we go and we fast forward 5-6 months ahead. We see that Sarah's working basically at a Bed Bath & Beyond knockoff.
Yeah.
And she's having all these like killing tendencies to her boss because the guy's
which I love they did all that because it just made me feel like that was me when I was in retail.
Us.
Yeah. So I was like, they really nailed that.
Yeah, hit that on the head. Okay, so we got Ray working for a knockoff Tinder app, basically, but instead of swiping left or right, you swipe up. Game changer, guys. Now you can.
That was so corny, bro.
I mean, and then you have Nate, who is basically trying to establish himself as a hero in Central City, but Wally's like just knocking people out or whatever, and he's just like, Wally, you said you'd save some for me. He's like, oh, sorry, man, got you on the next one. So it's like obviously no one's happy where they are.
At least that was where.
Mick is.
I thought that they are gonna. I think they're gonna make Wally a legend this year.
Honestly, that would make more sense.
That'd be cool.
I
would enjoy that.
How they saw him, he's like, sorry,
that would make more sense.
And he was like, I'm the second biggest hero in Central City.
Yeah, that would make more sense than.
No, I would enjoy him being a legend.
I feel like he would actually benefit more with the legends than he would be under their tutelage over there with Flash, because literally all it is you're not the Flash, you little shit. Get out of here. Get out of here. They spank him on the ass.
Let's break his leg again.
Yeah, and he's just like
episode.
Exactly. He's just like okay, sorry. Like it's like no, Wally's so much bigger and better than that. Like let's have him be the person he's.
But it makes sense if he goes to be a legend because there's really no big storylines left for Kid Flash.
Exactly. So that we know of, but So they all meet up together except for Mick, because Mick is actually in Aruba.
I was so happy he finally got to go.
Yeah, it was nice. It was like, good for you, Mick. But apparently, the Time Bureau did not catch every single anachronym, because Julius Caesar in the flesh on a horse shows up right in front of Mick as he's laying in the sun. He's like, "This is a private beach. What are you doing here? Who the fuck are you?" And then he gives him this whole spiel that he's Julius Caesar, and he's like, why?
But I love how he was able to tie him up completely, like in 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
But then get tricked enough to get into a fist fight with him.
But you know what was hysterical? But he's also stupid.
He's like,
to a certain degree. Exactly. But he's also dumb to a certain degree as well. But what I loved was when he's just eating and he goes, "Your salad sucks." Oh, I just love Mick.
I think he's my favorite character of Legends.
He's just so enjoyable to watch. Like,
yeah.
And so he contacts the Legends and he tells them like, "Hey, this guy's here. I have him in captive. Like, what do I do?" So they're like, "This is our chance to get back into Rip's good graces, and then maybe he'll give us the Wave Rider back, and we can go back and we can turn, and become this team again." So everyone's like, "Yeah, we're not happy with where we're at, so let's do it." So they go to the Time Bureau, and all these agents know who they are, and they're like, "Oh, we're kind of a big deal here." And they're like, and then he's like, "Basically, yeah, because you guys are infamously known for shitting the bed and just causing the biggest shit show in history of time that we had to clean up." And he's like, "So if it wasn't for you, I guess none of these people would have jobs. So good for you guys." Rip and the whole agency are basically just giving them the middle finger the whole time that they're there.
Yeah.
They don't want anything to do with them. They're telling them like, just stop even trying to be here. Just go away. Fuck off.
There's actually a part where they're doing a simulation of something that Sarah had done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they mentioned what Sarah did, and then she's like, "What do you think? I'm stupid? Of course not."
And then they're like, "Let's run the next one. Let's try to stop a nuke from hitting New York."
Yeah.
And it's like, really?
Yeah,
just shit on the Legends more.
Yeah, exactly. These guys just can't catch a break, but it proves how much they are misfits. You know what I mean? Like they're so true to their roles.
But it also proves that they basically taught everybody in that whole.
What not to do?
Class,
Time Bureau.
what not to do, yeah.
Yeah.
The whole Time Bureau class, what not to do.
So the thing is that coincidentally enough, they are at this toga party in a Rubicon, and Julius Caesar gets away from Mick after he has him tied up, and
recruits and
he's trying to recruit a bunch of frat guys that are in togas, which I thought was hysterical.
I was only curious, because that whole switch up where Mick tackled the wrong Caesar because he was in that outfit. And this is what Mick meant. It was just some kid. It's nothing. Why is it that the Time Bureau really didn't have any readings of Julius Caesar being in a different time.
Mm.
You know, like,
Yeah.
are they going to explain why they didn't have any kind of evidence to show that he was there?
We'll see.
You know?
But Mick had a gold coin that he was trying to put into a soda machine when he was brought back to... Because they can transport themselves anywhere the fuck they want, apparently, in the Time Bureau. So when they're leaving, Mick tries to get a soda, and a gold coin pops out, and they're like, oh, so you weren't actually lying. This is legit. And he's like, yeah. So they go back, they steal the Wave Rider while they're in the building, and they go to Aruba. And but before they can do that, we're missing 2 people. Guys, where's Firestorm?
Yeah.
So it turns out that Jax is going to college, 2 years away from his master's, and he and Stein meet up at Stein's house once a week just so they can have their bonding sessions and remain okay. Because obviously, if Stein doesn't become Firestorm for too long of a time, he ends up having convulsions and basically the equivalent of a heart attack. We find out that his daughter's preggers. She is the sauce. She's preggo. It's apparently she was on a sabbatical and they had a lot of time to spare. So with her boyfriend. So that's great. Martin Stein's finally having the family that he always wanted.
Yep.
And now this poses a problem because the legends come back for them. They go on this little journey. They get Julius Caesar back, and to sum it up, the Time Bureau didn't do what the legends could. And the legends, despite a messy fight scene and everything, they secured Julius Caesar because he actually took a book from Nate that was going to have him. Basically, it was the history book that allowed him to understand what the hell's going to happen in the future, so he avoids everything that was going to make him make the world, and he ends up taking over the world because of that. So they have to remedy that mistake now. The Time Bureau falls short because they fell for a trap.
Yep.
The legends come in, save them, and
they're still not appreciative.
No, they're not appreciative of it because it's also their fault to a certain degree as well. But they at least are Rip at least grants them the ability to have their Wave Rider back, and they need a mechanic because it's not really doing that great. So that's where Jax comes into play. Jax is now the one that wants to be on this team.
Which I was happy they did that comparison.
Yes.
They just flipped the roles.
Yes.
Of Stein wanting to go and dragging Jax, and then Jack wanting to go and Stein saying,
he knocked him out.
I did it, Yeah, exactly.
He fucking drugged him.
And now Stein said, well, I forced you on this journey to begin with. It's the least I can do to allow us to stay.
Yeah, because they never got a chance to really address it to a certain degree. So I was very happy that it came full circle, and this time Stein was like, he acknowledged his mistake. Yeah. That was a big thing because I felt like if they didn't do that, it would have been a huge waste of an opportunity. Yep. Finally, pay something back to season 1. I did this to you. It's only fair that I do this for you now in turn. And he's like, and as for family, I have a family here as well. Mm-hmm. And that. So that was awesome. I always feel like Legends is the best of the shows to incorporate every bit of what makes each show its own. Yeah. They have all those qualities. They managed to fit it into one episode.
Well, because they're a little bit of every show.
That's exactly it. But the irony is that even though they're a little bit of every show, that's what makes them unique. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's action, there's time travel, there's lightheartedness, there's humor, there's quirkiness. There's literally everything that makes this universe, the DC universe, but it's in this show. And I thought that it was on full display in this episode. Despite the weak beginning, I thought that they finished very strong.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah. All right. So, now that we've got that. Oh, wait. They did make mention of the next bad.
Yes.
And
they mentioned Malice.
Malice. Not to be confused with Malice.
I forgot her name. Almost like the second in command. I forgot her name. But she said something like, if it wasn't for them, Malice wouldn't even be the threat that he is. And then Rip said, they might be the only ones able to stop him.
Yeah.
Eventually. So that is the first evidence we have of possibly this season's big bad. And I can't wait to learn more about it.
And we found out that Nate and Amaya broke up. The details are a bit shaky. It was like she wanted to stay because of her destiny, because she said screw destiny, but then she was told she has a destiny, so she decided, okay, destiny it is then, I guess. So she's defending her home, her home. Right. And apparently now she can call on multiple animal spirits, and she's killing. From what it sounds like.
Rip made her leave, right? Was that?
I think that's what Nate keeps thinking, but I don't know if Rip actually did it.
There's a bigger backstory there.
But I think it might be, now that Amaya is stronger, it could be that she didn't want to leave because she knew her village got destroyed, and she would have died, but somehow she came across this greater power. She got stronger and said, now I'm going to go back and make sure my village doesn't get destroyed because I'm strong enough to stop it.
Yes.
So
she's just in the few minutes that we saw of her, she seemed a lot more malicious.
Yeah.
And understandably so. I mean, if these men are there to pillage and rape, I would pretty much fucking murder them myself as well, honestly. So I don't blame her for that, but I'm just saying, like, from the Amaya that we saw last season, it's definitely more vicious to a certain degree. So there's some stories that
I'm very interested to see how that unfolds with her and
Nate. She's probably missing her man.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying it was a very strong, like it ended very strong. Like, it leaves you with not too much where you're like, oh God, what? But you're like, wow, what's gonna happen? So I really enjoyed that. Shall we continue on?
With that said, on to
ready? Arrow.
So, Arrow actually does not start off exactly on Lian Yu starting from last season. They do the flashback formula to show us everything happening on the island, which I'm pretty sure is going to progress to the next episode.
I think what they're going to do is the same way how they did Oliver's whole Lian Yu to when he came back. That's what they're going to do.
The island is going to be his flashbacks now.
Right, yeah.
But for how long?
Fire.
Exactly.
I think all season.
No,
if they stretch it all season, I'm gonna have a problem with that.
I think I might too.
The thing with Arrow is they're big on their flashbacks.
Yeah, but they were saying that this season they're not gonna do them.
And Lian Yu, all the flashbacks were done last season when he got off.
Yeah.
So I think that the fire, they're gonna do it for at least a good portion of the season.
I can see a handful of episodes.
We have to see how everybody got off.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of people that got off.
No, I don't.
Talia al Ghul got off. You have to see who the guy is who came to pick up. Go ahead.
Definitely.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that it's going to go for a couple episodes. I just don't know if it's going to go for the whole season.
I can't see the whole season. I'll have a problem.
I can see half the season. I can see the 9 episodes.
The mid-season finale?
Yeah, I can see that.
I think it's going to go all season. There was a lot of people on that island.
Yeah. So, but we already know what's
when you're done explaining, I think Prometheus is still alive, and I think he's going to be in the crossover, but I'll get to that in a second.
In the head?
Right. But, as you know in Arrow, nobody's ever dead. Ever.
That's true also.
So, it starts off 5 months later, what I enjoyed that they did is they slowly and naturally reintroduce the characters to show, they're not dead. Yeah. They're not dead.
I love that.
So he starts off fighting Faust. He's going after Alex Faust to stop a missile. And you see that John is still fighting with him. So he's alive.
Curtis
was able to stop the missile. Renee is there fighting with a new costume.
That costume,
a really nice costume.
Pretty badass.
Yeah.
He's not the only one though who got a new costume.
Yeah. When they go back into the bunker, Felicity comes down with dinner, so she's alive, and then you end up seeing Dinah at the precinct, and so they naturally introduce people, especially oh my god, I forgot his name, Quentin.
Lance.
Especially Lance, where, the other officer said, he was supposed to be here to go over, the preparations or something. So they, instead of showing him right away, they made mention of him showing that he's still alive. So I like that natural reintroduction of all the characters, along with the flashback showing who wasn't there exactly, with a little bit of a red herring with Thea. Because in the flashback, you see that Thea is on the ground.
Yeah, and she's not moving.
Oliver's crying over her.
She's pale as hell.
Yeah, so you immediately say, okay, he's crying, she's dead. And then Samantha comes out, William's mother, and she tells Oliver, promise me, you'll take care of him, he needs a parent. And she dies.
I kind of knew that was going to happen, though.
Oh, yeah, she was definitely gone.
She had to go.
Yeah, I feel like we knew that from the trailer alone of the season that she was going to be dead.
Yeah, because it was like, why is William with him?
Exactly. So what I did like is they brought back the housekeeper.
From the pilot!
Yes! Yeah. That was amazing!
You mentioned that earlier.
I was like, where the fuck was this woman for 5 years?
I am so happy.
I think we're going to get a spin-off of her 5 years. I'm not being on the fucking show.
There's your flashback.
I was trapped in 5 years in hell. I was working for a dignitary, and he was a piece of shit. Oliver found me and rescued me, but this is my story. I am the housekeeper.
To survive, I had to be someone else. I had to be something else. The housekeeper.
I had to be the cook. Done.
Oh my god!
Because like I remember when I watched the pilot and I saw her, I was like, oh, she might be a pivotal role in this series because like he was always saying, I always liked you.
And Arrow was like, nope.
And then it was just like never saw her again. He was so happy to see her. She had lines, guys. She had lines in the episode. Yeah. And it was just like, I was like, oh man, that's really
to see her come back now and babysit William, I thought was so amazing.
I know, but we didn't know. But like, can we get some explanation as to where this woman's been for 5 years?
I think we will.
I mean, I'm sure. I feel like it might even be a part because, like, at the end of the episode, they hinted that William is kind of giving Oliver the chance to have a relationship.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I feel like there might even be a point where I forgot her name though. The housekeeper's name, someone with an R. Oh, but it's not Rosita.
No, don't be racist.
What?
I'm kidding.
Anyway,
she was Russian, wasn't she? Because he said something in Russian and like when she dropped something in the pilot.
Whatever her name is, I feel like there'll be a moment where
we're gonna get it because
she explains, like she kind of talks to William and explains what Oliver used to be like and how he's changed. You know what I mean? Like something to show that she knew him in his past, and knows the man he is now. Yeah, something like that. I feel like we might get that kind of conversation.
And you kind of assume that like she helped raise him when he was younger.
Exactly.
So it's like now she's
raising William. Yeah,
doing that with his son. Yeah, exactly.
So the big issue in this episode is that Black Siren is still alive, which you didn't know for a fact that she was dead.
I think her name is Razor.
Razor.
Yeah. So Black Siren is still alive. She made it off Lianyu, and she is raising all kinds of hell. Yep. She blew up the precinct. She gets into the bunker and attacks the bunker.
Fucking
almost kills
screaming
John.
all over the place. Just all that shit.
A lot of things got developed in this episode. I mean, John not being able to shoot and hit anything.
Is it that he's not shooting or he's missing?
Well, no, he missed the first time.
The
second time he didn't shoot.
Then he didn't shoot at
all.
Because he's got PTSD.
Yeah, something's going on with him.
We have to find out.
He's got the scar on his chest.
From something with the explosion.
Yeah, you saw how close he was to that.
It looks like when the explosion went off, like he
was in it, kind of, yeah. But like, there's so much that got developed in this episode with John. Dinah, I feel like there's something going on with Dinah and John. Like, it doesn't have to be a loving relationship like that, but I feel like there's some kind of bond that they just keep evolving and evolving.
Well, Dinah's supposed to actually
have a love calling him on a lot of shit, though.
She's supposed to have a love interest.
And he's calling her on a lot of shit.
Yeah. I feel like she's supposed to be his female equivalent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I think is okay.
She's supposed to get a love interest this year, so hopefully.
I hope it's not John, though.
No,
I really hope it's not John.
So I'm saying like that'll probably divert away that potential sexual tension that some people are seeing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you could see it. It's not like people are seeing something that's not there. I feel like they are.
No, I feel like there's moments where it's kind of like. Okay.
Yeah.
Caught that.
And there is an issue with Quentin and Dinah about Earth 2 Laurel being alive and what actually happened to Leanne. You find out that she survived the collapse with debris, and she's about to kill Dinah, and Quentin ends up shooting her. Which I was like, that was the big secret.
Right, and that's what I had a problem with, because everybody's standing around and he's like, I have this big confession. I'm like, oh, maybe he just let her get away.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And he couldn't bring himself
to do it.
But that didn't solve anything.
No.
They weren't figuring out what... They wanted to know how she got here. Not that you shot her. That did... Nobody really cared. Right.
I mean,
irrelevant to the whole situation.
That's it.
No, but he cared because it had him feeling guilty, and I understand that because.
But I feel like they hyped it up more than what it should have been.
I think they did too.
Because even Dinah was like, "No, Quentin, don't say it."
Yeah, Oliver's reaction was my reaction. So now what do we do? Like, what do we do now?
I would have loved if Oliver just turned around and was like, "So the fuck what, Quentin?"
Thank you, Oliver. I'd be like, best show ever.
God damn it, Quentin! I thought it was something real.
So,
serious.
And through the flashbacks again, you find out that a helicopter goes to Lianyu after the explosion, and this unknown guy gets out and helps Laurel up and
he just walks by, he just like stands
and just brings her off Lianyu.
I didn't like that either. That as soon as he got there,
she got up. Yeah.
Thank you for the breath.
Yeah, it was just. What? Okay, what?
Who do you think it is?
I honestly have no idea.
I have no idea.
No idea at all.
You? Not even a shot in the dark?
I mean...
Originally, I wanted to say Ra's al Ghul.
No, but see,
I don't think they're going to bring him back.
There was some kind of magic that did that. And when they said Faust in the beginning with Alex Faust, I was thinking Felix Faust.
But we've seen this guy before.
We have seen this guy before?
We've seen Alex Faust before. Because I remember the last time we saw him, I said, oh, it's Felix Faust. And Then they called him Alex, and I was
Yeah.
like, I'll go fuck myself.
Yeah,
Never mind.
Felix Faust is that that magician from.
Clearly, I was mistaken.
But
so
what about John Constantine? That's the only other person.
Constantine's supposed to actually show up in Legends.
That's the only other
But
person.
why would he help Black Siren?
I don't know.
Or this could just be setting up for whoever the inevitable big bad of the season is. So it could be anybody.
So she's probably working for someone new now, like this person that resurrected her.
But the thing is, when she got up, it was as if she already knew him.
Right.
You know?
So I think somebody we've seen
Was
already.
she working for Prometheus? Or was she working for this guy and kind of like being a double agent for Prometheus? Like, it was kind of all over the place.
A lot of mystery.
You know? Definitely.
That's why I love Arrow.
You find out that when she attacked the bunker, she wasn't trying to destroy it. She wasn't trying to kill anybody. I mean, she could have along the way. But what she was really there for, she stole a prototype of Curtis's T-Sphere. So, something new, I guess, that he was developing.
But it's not weaponized. It's not weaponized. So
but we actually don't know what it does or what it's capable of.
Exactly.
He never mentioned it. So that's another developing story going forward. You find out that Thea didn't die on the island. She's just in a coma now.
I mean, honestly,
I thought she was dead because I was like, they practically wrote her off last season.
yeah, they've been writing her. They've been trying to write her off since she stopped being like Speedy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So,
because it's like she's kind of like becoming Wally in a sense. Not like, oh, you're not Arrow or anything, but she literally isn't serving any purpose anywhere that she is. Which
Right.
I hate to say because like she was always very interesting as a character in the beginning of the show, and now it's just like they kind of just don't know what to do with her. They send her on a soul search every season.
Yeah.
And she always ends up coming back.
she's
to
going to wake up from the coma and be like, I have to go find myself.
Yeah. Yeah, like she always has to go find herself, and she always comes back worse than before. Like I've never
Clearly,
seen
her soul is the best at hide and seek because she can never fucking find that thing.
Exactly.
Could
oh
the
my God.
the guy who
Talia
came off the plane, could that have been Malcolm Merlin? Because he's the only person we didn't see.
Listen, I would love for him to still be alive because I think
they left it open-ended.
if that was really his death, I feel like they cheated him.
They left it open-ended, so we'll see.
I think he needs to be alive. I love that we saw Deathstroke again.
He's the best.
He's my all-time favorite Arrow villain.
Hey, he's the best.
Hey, kid. Nice to see
He's
you.
like an
I don't think they're ever gonna top him. His series as a bad guy.
Season 2 for me was the pinnacle.
I thought Prometheus gave him a run for his money, though.
But
definitely, but as far
He
as
didn't
villain
top him.
itself, like the bond that him and Oliver had.
oh yeah, well that's what made
Look
it
who
strong.
Get it.
Deathstroke killed his mother in front of him, and now they're friends. First of all, no way he had to go if that was mother. You know what I'm saying? But
I would have went back to the Argus jail cell and just fucking killed him in the
Yeah.
prison. But definitely, he's my favorite.
So we found out that he followed up on the information
Yes,
about his son.
the information that Oliver gave him actually panned out, and it worked, and he is now going to find him.
And there's going to be a future arc where they're going to show it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Oliver helping him,
Yeah,
I believe, right?
I believe so. It's going to be very exciting.
But Oliver, Deathstroke made a very good point, which was definitely foreshadowing for the rest of the season. That he said, people like us, we walk in two worlds, and you have to decide: do you want to be the man that everyone else needs you to be, or the man that the father that your son needs you to be?
that's the whole season.
And that's going to be the moral of the whole season. Absolutely,
which I love. I think it's a great.
I think it's definitely a switch up of dynamic in the show because now you actually have his son as an integral part of the story.
A little bit of light in one of the darkest shows.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? CW world.
And there was like a little hint that him and Felicity are together.
Or trying to work it out.
Trying to work it out. Exactly. They didn't have too much affection.
Trying to work it out.
I mean, it's kind of spoiled because there are photos from the filming of the crossover, and they're kissing and everything. So I was like, all right, well they're back together, which I'm okay with because I didn't mind them being together until it became the Felicity show.
Yeah.
Then it bothered me when she took over everything.
Yeah,
she took his house.
She already had a show in the 90s, Felicity. She doesn't need to have one now.
So, but I don't mind them as a couple, So if they're back together, I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
But yeah, a lot of unanswered questions, and still more to come in the island flashbacks. Because we know Felicity's alive, but we still never saw her in the post-explosion of Lian Yu.
Yeah.
Kali is missing.
Exactly.
Both Al Ghul sisters are missing.
Yes, Nissa too.
But let's shout out Dinah. She's the lieutenant now.
Yes.
And let's shout out Renee because he is an officer.
And he's about to get his daughter back.
Yep.
Or
He's an
possibly.
officer?
Or is it or an officer in training or something along? He graduated.
No, he took job.
He took Thea's job. That's what it was.
I thought that he was.
He got promoted to Thea's job. That's why he's writing the speeches.
Oh, I thought he was in the police academy as well.
No, he's working at City Hall, hands down.
Oh, my bad, guys.
No, but he's about to he might get his daughter back. We'll see how that
because
goes.
Oliver got him another hearing.
Right, we'll see how that
Which
goes.
I don't know how he wasn't able to get one on his own where it's like, reason for absence, kidnapped. By maniac.
Yeah, but then also, how does that look? It's like, okay, so if you were kidnapped by a maniac,
definitely
right? But it's not like the public doesn't know who Prometheus is because there was a worldwide manhunt for him. So it's like kidnapped by Prometheus. Yeah, that guy. Like, how do you not get another hearing from that?
Yeah, that's a good reason not to be there.
But Oliver being the mayor, he was able to do it. So the big bombshell at the very closing seconds of the episode was Felicity said, turn on like channel 52, and it just so happened,
always 52.
yeah, it just so
52.
happened that his TV was already on 52. So when he turned it on, there it was, and it was the news saying that there was a picture of the Green Arrow identified, and it was a picture of Oliver without his hood
and his
without his eye mask. Like, yeah,
because I'm thinking to myself, he's never not. The only time that he's ever not wearing that eye mask is when he's inside his own bunker usually. So I don't know why I felt like that was like imposed, to have
photoshopped,
to have like a full face. Like I'm saying, like the whole face.
But
I know it sounds stupid, but like
it's interesting how it was.
When does he do that outside?
It was a mirror comparison of what happened with Prometheus last season, where they found out his identity because he was always in the Prometheus costume, but then randomly he took off the hood on a rooftop, and you saw him unmasked as Prometheus.
Maybe
and the same thing happened now with Oliver being unmasked as Arrow.
Because didn't last season he talk to somebody on the roof? He was talking to somebody.
Prometheus?
On the roof.
Yeah, but
no, Oliver. When he took off his...
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
And he was talking to somebody on the roof, trying to get them to... Maybe it wasn't last season. What was the season that Speedy was like almost in a trance? I think it was with the Miracuda and
with the Miracuda.
Yeah, that season he took off his mask on the roof. I think it was Red Arrow was bugging out. Yeah, and he took
that was season 2.
It's me.
Season 2.
He said it's me.
Season
it's me.
2.
And he took off everything.
That was season 2.
I mean, it'd be crazy if they actually did that. Which
2.
would be interesting because it's like season 5 was all about callbacks and connections to season 1.
Yeah.
So what if they just continue to jump like that? Where season 6 is connections and callbacks to season 2,
like
season
that.
7 to season 3.
I like that.
That would be really cool.
I don't want any callbacks to season 4. The first one to say it. I don't want any callbacks to season 4.
Yeah, that was the big bombshell we got at the end of the episode, which I'm dying to find out how that unravels.
Yeah, how's he going to handle that? Apparently the FBI is going to get involved.
Yes, but all in all,
but why
pretty good episode.
Can't Argus handle all that? I was still asking him.
I mean,
like why can't he just wipe the databases?
They can just go to the FBI, like, we got this. We're Argus, and walk out.
But can they? Like, does like
well,
the world doesn't really know about Argus,
is supposed
right?
to kind of be low key though. At the same
Right,
time.
like I don't even know
So
if the
then they
FBI
could delete-
knows that Argus
then they
is
could
real.
delete
They
Argus.
They could go into their database and delete
Argus
everything.
is up here. That's the top.
Yeah.
But if they did that, there'd be no story.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
TV logic.
Exactly.
Right.
So,
But with all 4 shows now explained and ripped apart, let's get on to our rankings.
all right, me first or you first?
Well, Ward first.
Ward first.
I got Arrow had the best opening, I think, out of all the shows. I think the worst one was Supergirl.
Okay. What are your in-betweens?
My second probably is gonna be Legends because Flash that whole
Wow, okay.
and Flash is gonna go third. I loved Flash until he went.
Until he was like, Iris?
Come get me.
Iris? Okay.
Come get me. And then he remembers everything after those words. Now, they should have said that in the fucking beginning.
She should have just went and fucking laid in traffic and everything
Yeah.
went fine.
And then she said, come get me.
Come get me.
Iris is gonna get run over.
Alright, let's just go down the line. So you go next.
All right, so I'm gonna go similar, but not all the way yours. I'm gonna go Arrow first. Solid premiere, coming off of a solid season finale. And then I'm going to go with Legends as well for season 2. For my second one. I thought that it started off a little weak, but then it the last the 3/4 that followed, fantastic. They still got the charm, they still got the wit, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. Third, I'm going to go Supergirl. I I really liked Melissa Benoist's performance in this premiere. I know you guys didn't, but I was a big fan in the way that she played this role. I didn't think that she did it too much, where it was just like but you guys did, but I didn't. And fourth, I'm gonna go Flash. I feel like they still got some stank from the third season, and it's just not sitting well with me.
It's just not there.
I like the character growth in Iris. I think that it's well overdue, and she's doing it great. I believe that she is their leader. Like when she's telling them what the hell to do, like she's very poignant with her decisions, and she's not second guessing herself. She's like, "This is what you're doing. Go right now." And that's it. I like that. I hope that they continue.
Who died and made her commander?
I hope that they continue.
HR.
Yeah.
I loved HR. He was the best.
Both
of them.
I hope they.
Harrison Wells and HR.
I hope that
Wells is my favorite. Her too is my favorite.
I hope that they continue to have her as that leader. And yeah, so those are my ratings.
I'm happy because I'm really far off the reservation from you guys. Number one, I'm going Flash. I really, really thoroughly enjoyed this episode. I love the mystery behind Flash and everything that happened to him in the Speed Force trap, and I'm dying to know what all of that meant. Two, I am going Arrow. There are just too many unfolding storylines to ignore that this was an amazing, amazing premiere to set up so many different things that are going to happen this season. Mm-hmm. I loved it. Three, I will go Legends. By no means a bad episode. I just feel like Flash and Arrow, for me personally, beat it out, but still a great, great episode. And they left you with just that hint of intrigue, like who's Mollis, what's going to happen now, and what is the dynamic between the Legends and the Time Bureau going to be throughout the season. And fourth, I will go Supergirl. I feel like a very weak premiere. It felt like just one of those run-of-the-mill weekly filler episodes to me, and just an excuse to say, look, we unearthed a Kryptonian ship, and that one over there got powers. To me, that was it. So I will go Supergirl 4.
Also, though, I forgot to mention, Cat Grant is gonna, she has a new role for the president.
She's the Speaker of the House.
Yeah, she's Speaker of the House. So that could be a good way to have her not have to actually appear on the set and stuff, while she can still be incorporated.
Right, just show her passing by on the TV or something like that. Absolutely.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I
got use some more Cat Grant.
Flash, Arrow, Legends, Supergirl.
Any predictions? Death predictions? Anything?
I'm not going there yet. We're all
you gotta have a prediction. Give me something.
I don't.
Any guess. Let me tell you who I think's time is up. In Flash, like you guys said, Thea, time to go. She had to go. She needs to go. Oh yeah, Arrow, I'm sorry.
But now that they just put her in a coma, I feel like they're not going to put her in a coma just to kill her.
No,
they might as well just kill her on the AU.
I feel like she's going to be out of commission for at least.
No, like you said, she's going to go find herself and she's going to come back, right? And then something's going to happen. But her time is up. On Flash, I think somebody's going to go in Flash. Somebody important that we all love. Maybe like a Joe.
But maybe not. Maybe it is just that Wally leaves to join Legends, and that's their way of writing off a character.
That could be.
Yeah,
yep.
That I could see happening.
I think maybe like a Joe.
That would break my heart.
Yeah, that would break my heart.
Forget it. Then Barry's gonna fuck the timeline again to go bring him back.
Exactly.
Come on, we can't give him more reasons.
He's the strongest actor on that show, honestly.
Yeah,
Joe.
I love him.
Oh yeah,
he's the strongest actor.
But he did Law and Order for 9,000 years.
Yeah.
Predictions I'll make. I could see Wally joining the Legends. Okay. I can see that being definitely a possibility, which I would enjoy.
That'd be really cool.
As far as people dying, Thea can't die now because they put her in a coma. But maybe she'll just be there all season.
Thea can't die now.
Maybe she'll just be in a coma all season. What else? Legends? I'm still worried that eventually Amaya's going to go back. Because I really love her and Nate together, and I believe that after this whole story arc of her, they're going to end up getting back together, but I feel like at one point they are just going to keep her in 1942, which would really upset me.
Supergirl.
And Supergirl.
Yeah,
Maggie.
Maggie?
Maggie.
Okay. Maggie,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, Maggie seems right. Wally does seem right going to Legends. I mean, that would be I think that would just be a good thing for his character, honestly. He'd be able to expand his horizons. He's the only speedster that would be there. So it just kind of makes sense where he can actually thrive somewhere instead of just be belittled. Which
is exactly what all these characters did overall.
You know,
they took literally every side character that had nothing left on their respective show and formed them in a group.
Yeah, and made them important to each other. So, I mean, what they did with that show is great, honestly. When you think about it, when you first hear about it, you're like, what?
I want Snart back again.
Yeah.
Come on, Meg.
Who do you think the bad guy of the crossover is going to be? It's got to be someone.
Well, the crossover is called Crisis on Earth.
It's their counterpart It's their Earth X counterpart.
Oh.
So it's gonna be Prometheus.
Well,
it's Green Arrow. His outfit kind of looks like Green Arrow's and Prometheus combined.
Okay.
Kind of.
But there are some new characters.
Supergirl is Overgirl.
There are some new
Okay.
there are new characters that are going to be introduced into this universe. I don't know if you guys know. The Ray is going to be in it.
In what universe?
Like
in
our DC
overall,
universe.
the whole four.
The
Okay.
Ray apparently is going to come in. Finally, we're going to get. We're supposed to be getting Ralph Dibny. Is he Elastic Man? He's not Plastic Man.
Plastic Man is no DC is Plastic.
Yeah,
Man.
no, I know he is, but there's another person too.
Oh, I don't know.
Elongated Man. So there we go. He's Elongated Man. Ralph Dibny was supposed to be like pretty much the second best detective to Batman.
Oh wow.
He brought lightheartedness. He was in the Justice League for a brief instant as well, but he's supposed to finally be in the Flash, and I'm looking forward to the levity he's going to bring.
What we are getting in the crossover is Supergirl's counterpart. I believe her name is Overgirl. She wears like a mask, and she has a black and red suit. Arrow's looks like Arrow and Prometheus combined. I forgot his name. Flash's looks like Reverse Flash. He has like a yellow and black outfit going on though, and he has 2 lightning bolts on his chest.
Because he's double the man bear.
Yeah, I don't remember the fourth. I don't remember the Legends
That's
part
all right.
of it.
We'll
get there. We have plenty of time for that.
Time.
But yeah, that actually wraps it up for week 1, season premiere week of all 4 shows. As always, comment below. Let us know what you thought of the premieres, what your theories are, and everything else that we talked about. A to Z over here. But subscribe if you like seeing these podcasts and catching more every week, and hit that like button. But as always, I'm Anthony.
I'm Manny, and we want to thank
Thank you guys for having me.
We appreciate it. Definitely having him on
back.
the show.
I want to come back, maybe mid-season finale
or crossover.
Or crossover, yeah, definitely.
See how our predictions
have you here for the
looked
big moments,
see how our predictions looked out.
Definitely. But until then, guys, we'll see you next time.
Deuces.
Later.